The KRK Rokit5 powered monitors. Now, I know none of you are actually watching this video to hear me talk about the KRK Rokit5s. What you're here to hear me talk about is how the KRK Rokit5s compared to the LSR305s by JBL. The speakers which I married for a very short period of time, and then it sort of like, it got real weird with her sister, her big sister, and then, you know, it got called off. But now, the Patreon bought these, and the Patreon giveth and taketh away. So I figure I should get the review in before I do that. Let's focus on her for a second. She's better built than the JBL. Just as far as... These are heavier. Like, versus... You hear that extra boom. Build differences. They're both, you know, 305, Rokit5. They're both 5-inch monitors, or they're in the 5-inch monitor category. But yet, look at that blatant discrepancy. And I've measured it, and it's like it's a little less than a ½ inch. But the JBL is bigger. That's bigger than this. This has a stiffer surround. If you feel the surrounds. Kevlar cone versus plastic cone. Crazy waveguide on the 305s versus a very simple waveguide here on the KRKs with a much deeper dome tweeter. And then we get to the real big stuff, which is front port versus rear port. Dusty rear port. Ugh. Oh, let me just say this. These have an integrated rubber pad, like foam rubber pad on the bottom, just built in. No legs, no feet, no nothing, which I really like. God, these are heavy. So, looking over the back, light, not light. Rear port here, fine. Power, I don't have to discuss power. What I have to discuss is everything else. This has way more as far as options go. Here we have only a balanced input and a 1/4-inch TRS input. Where here we have the balanced input and a balanced TRS and an unbalanced RCA. So you don't have to buy those adapters. So you get 3 on this, although you'd only really use 1 at a time. Volume is here. Input sensitivity. Now this has volume as well. But instead of it just going from min to max like it does in the JBL, this goes from -30 to +6 dB. And I've had several things hooked up to this. Everything from like my portable little Cowan to the Audio Engine D1 to my XDA with XLRs. And the swing you have to whip this baby around to adjust for each one of them is a lot. Where this, I just went max, and then I picked if I wanted to use this or this. You switch between +4 and -10. This can really get it going. Now, the other features, the trim features here, you get 2 dip switches, plus or minus 2 decibels on high frequency and low frequency. Well, here you get a 4-way switch. So you can go +1 to -2 on high frequency, and you can go to -1, -2. And then here you do the same thing, only +2 to -2. So a little bit more tweakability on the trims. Not a great deal, but, you know, it's nice to be there. And now I've run out of things to say on the back of these speakers. I'm just going to stare at them until they make love. Because here's the thing. I had these set up to AB a month ago. I posted a picture on our audio file. And I would randomly hit a button, walk away, and see if I could tell which ones were playing. And it was 80% of the time I could tell when the JBLs were on, or the Rokits. Oh, that rubber. These have crisper highs. Crispier? Like a chicken sandwich? No. Whereas this waveguide does magical things, and when you're sitting here, it sounds good. From far away, if you're doing just a room, and you're not actually doing crazy monitoring, these sound better. This tweeter, just, you know, it's just highs, and you could adjust. Where this is doing highs, but you have to sort of pay attention to it to really appreciate them. Now, KRKs are sort of known for their low end, and I think that is very, very situational, placement-wise. Because when you put this, if you're in a studio and you've got a wall behind you, and you put this speaker against the wall and this speaker against the wall, the front port here is beneficial because it's not dealing with the wall at all. It's pretty far away. Everything is being dealt with up here. Where this one, you got that, cannon firing out the back, and it can make them sound bassier. But these legitimately do have more. I don't know how they have more low end with a slightly smaller driver. It's got to have just better excursion and a better braced box. I can't believe how much heavier the KRKs are. 50% heavier? 40% heavier? I could get the exact weight. So people will say, oh, KRK. They don't skew the bass. Here's the thing. People are like, oh, KRKs are just bass cannon lunatic speakers. And they're really not. They're really not. They do a good job of representing low end. Nothing does a subwoofer's job. Nothing. Let's get it right. Let's get that down. These have great bass, and these have great bass, but nothing's going to help unless you have a subwoofer. Which actually, I just saw the back of a JBL LSR subwoofer, which was weird. I kind of like to take a peek at that if anyone has one. And I'm skirting the issue, and I know I'm skirting the issue of which is better, because I don't hate these. These are actually real close in cost. I mean, like, I'm not going to say how much they cost because it literally has changed every week since I've looked it up. How much is this? And how much is a pair of these? A pair of these goes on sale and a pair of these doesn't. You would not be dissatisfied with the KRK Rokit5s in a desk setup. And in fact, I'm thinking that it's getting pretty obvious that when people say I have a desk and I want to have speakers on it, powered monitors just are consistently better sounding than a pair of Micas or even the SX6s. They are here for this job. They are specifically designed. A speaker over there is designed to do a room, or maybe it'll do a desk. But these will do a desk. These are designed for. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You bring a gun to a gunfight. And these are the gunfight for the desk is powered monitors. So either one will make you happy. This one is definitely better built, and it's got that look, that crazy. I would love to get the 6. Maybe the 6 will actually be a 5-inch driver. And here, if that's the crazy bass lunatic one that everyone talks about, I'm still gonna have to give it to the 305s. I gotta give it to them. I just even in the slightest bit. I am not upset with anything that this produces at all, but I've had this longer, and I know it sounds signature, and it's what really propelled me into the JBL fanboy club. So this is like 92% as good as this, which is usually good enough. And if you do need adjustments and controls that are a little more finite, definitely these. God, this is a hard review. Why could I have never had these? And this would have just been like, these would have blown me away had I never heard these. But I have heard these. So these don't blow me away. They just sort of get the nod. They got the, yeah, you know what? Powered monitors are the way to go. Nod. So yeah, visit the Patreon below if you want to discuss anything, literally anything. Your new toaster oven and baby clothes. I have a forums, that is the Z Reviews subreddit, where anyone can post and discuss anything they want. Just all you have in common is that you're here right now watching this. And yeah. But I think you will not be upset with either one of these, but if you have absolutely no preference to slightly more frontal low end or slightly better dispersion, then you're going to buy these anyway. You're going to buy those. I'm glad I got to hear these finally. Finally got to hear those. Now let's hear something bigger and better. Always bigger.